Hail and well met. Kier has told me that he likes to kind of beef up himself in vlogs and kind of be dramatic with his acting talent. I'm not sure how good at that I am. I honestly can't keep it up. That's basically it. That's all you get for today. That's all of the crazy you get. So today, are you a member of any forums? I've tried. I'm quite bad at it for reasons that I'm gonna try and go into, but it might just kind of devolve into like how I was the other day when I was trying to do a follow-up of D&D where I just ramble about nonsense and not really go anywhere. The only kind of board that I've ever really been onto, well not, yeah, forums, boards, that's the term. For some reason I just thought, board, no wait, that's 4chan. But, you know, 4chan is essentially a forum. Which I have kind of looked around sometimes, mainly just because it's what Keir spends a bit of his time doing, and he's just always trying to tell me it's like, no, it's not completely disgusting. It's just like certain boards, because he very much enjoys Steven Universe General, which is on the comics and cartoons, and kind of tabletop games and that kind of thing, and he has shown me like a few threads, I think that's the term, of like homebrew Magic the Gathering, kind of people kind of creating cards, and I'm just like thinking it's like, these are actually pretty good. Most of like the fake Magic the Gathering cards that you kind of see shared around on Facebook, or the kind that come from Irja, and you just kind of look at them and think, no, this isn't balanced, this is shit. Why would anyone create this? And then you kind of go on 4chan of all places, and it's like, these are really good, and they actually have rules. No animu shit for the artwork. Like, here are guidelines for kind of card creation. And it's decent stuff, and you know, it's quite shocking, but even so, I haven't been able to get into 4chan. Haven't got into posting, just it's not my kind of place. Somewhere that I think it is more my kind of place, that I've interacted with a little bit, and I kind of enjoyed it a bit, is animeleague.net. It's Anime League. It's like a British... I think it's mainly British. I do think there are like American people who join. But it's an English, I've just said this. It's an English anime forum. And it's got like really nice people. They organise conventions. I remember I first heard of them years and years ago, possibly like my first, second, maybe third, probably first or second convention visit. They were like these people just kind of handing around flyers, like saying, hey, you're into anime, that's why you're here, come visit our forum, kind of become a part of it. We're kind of growing, we're starting out new, and yeah. And I thought, yeah, I'll do that. And kind of, I think I made a profile but didn't really go anywhere. I had like a friend who was kind of on it more, but I don't know. I just couldn't get into like being on forums. And then I think like there was a later convention where I had been checking the board and it said like, you know, Anime League meetup at MCM Expo Telford. I thought, yeah, let's do it. And they kind of like had all of these stories about. And I went to the meetup, met some people, and there were people there just like saying, it's like, oh yeah, Anime League conventions are like great. We all get this hotel, we all get like majorly boozed up, we have crazy stories. There are like these people who are kind of big names on the forums who get fucking hilarious. It's great! Which does sound... I've never been to an Anime League convention, and I kind of do want to. It does sound like a lot of fun, whereas the MCM expos... It feels like they've, for me at least, I might kind of talk about conventions next time, but for me at least, the MCM expos, it feels kind of like, just, I kind of go there to go shopping. It's like a trade expo. It's like you just go there to buy things and sell things, and I don't know, I guess like a lot of the fun has kind of come out of it. But again, I might get onto that in a later vlog. But forums, Anime League. Recently I wanted to kind of get back into it just so I can like build up like a friend base online and kind of have an online presence and then kind of go, it's like, hey, we're internet denizens. I have a YouTube channel. You should come visit. So, as I was, Anime League. And they have kind of like a mini chat room, which is probably like my favourite part. I remember last New Year it must have been. Damn, that's a long time ago now. They were like, they do kind of events, like they had this party where it's like they have like their own radio station, they have this chat room and just kind of like, yeah, everyone just meet up and just kind of dick around in the chat room, like for New Year's. It might have been like the day after because, you know, or it might have been like the weekend or just like a couple of days, just because, you know, there are some people out there who spend time with families at the New Year. And that was like a lot of fun. It was like the people there were like really cool. I remember just people just dicking around talking about like anime that they were watching, anime that they watched, talking about VHSs, and just like they're like the younglings who just, what's a VHS? It's like, dude, just don't even. And then there are like people trying to explain. I was one of those people. It's just it's how do you explain a VHS? It's like a DVD, but it's analog and on tape rather than disc. That's a good explanation, right? And they have like all these great things like roleplay boards, which I tried to get into, but like I didn't create any posts because I'm not really sure how you kind of do roleplay on forums. It's kind of like a new thing for me, but like the couple that I applied to join either kind of were full or kind of like already had been going on for a while, or I kind of did actually join one or two, but then like the host disappeared, or just kind of like nothing ever came of it. So I had like a pretty bad introduction to that, but I would be willing to kind of go up for it again. What else? Just kind of, well, they have like I'm assuming this is like the same for all forums, but they have like boards and posts of like anything really. But then like a lot of video games ones, and I kind of thought about just going on now on the topic of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and Advance 2, just to kind of get people's ideas, because if I want to do like an in-depth study of it, which I do, then having like people's ideas would be great, because I remember like seeing on the GameFAQs forums or the GameFAQs boards comment section, just like someone like saying that Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2 is great, but Tactics Advance, the original one of that series, is kind of awful and unplayable. And I'm like, what's... We... Oh, I get it. You're young. It's cool. We can't all be this intelligent. Something like that. Who knows? Whatever. And so I could just like post about that on this forum, but it feels like kind of impersonal. It feels like you're... To me, it's... Because I guess it's kind of hard to kind of get to know people when all you know of them is like small snippets. And if you're going to be talking to people, then, you know, you want to kind of know who they are. You want to get involved. You want to talk to them, not just like a... Well, to make it not just like Cleverbot, I guess. And that's like another problem. Even though this is like a UK-based forum that does kind of regularly do kind of meetups and social events and conventions, like my neck of Shropshire, there's like 0 other people. It's like the closest thing is Birmingham, and that's like a fair distance for me to travel. And like not a lot that's happening in Wales either, which would be nice, because I like going into Wales. And it's just kind of, it doesn't feel like very personal, and it feels like you can just kind of drop by and then, and there's kind of not a lot just kind of dragging me back or kind of making me want to kind of keep obsessively checking to see if anyone's posted on my boards, which is weird because I'll do that with Facebook and that just seems normal. I'll go onto Facebook and be like, newsfeed, I'm wasting time, this is boring, whatever. Whereas with forums, it's like you can scroll, ooh, that's a nice topic, oh, there are lots of people talking about this. It seems like it would be a much better social platform than bloody Facebook. But I just haven't been able to get into it, and I just really want to. I really want to kind of get into a forum. I want to kind of get out there and just talk about this shit, but it's just weird. I've just never been able to kind of get into it, and I'm just wondering if it's just because I didn't like when I was younger, or it's just like there is like this initial hurdle which you kind of have to leap over, which maybe is easier when you're younger than I am now. We don't discuss age. Although people at work did assume that I was older than I am. That's happened a lot. Anyway. And it's just been difficult, but it's something that I want to do, but just, I guess, being social isn't kind of my forte. So, what are your experiences with forums? What forums have you gone on to? What forums do you frequent? Like, when did you start? How did you start? Did you have these difficulties? Just leave your views in the comment section, and I'll get around to reading them. And then I'll see you again in a few days. Au revoir.